Very good afternoon, sir. First of all, I would like to thank you for coming on this show, which is Glide Talk. Glide Talk is all about understanding the perspective in terms of safety and what all companies actually do in this lockdown period, so that many people who don't have access to information and the knowledge and the competency skill they don't have, uh, they should be able to use this knowledge, whatever you will be delivering or you will be talking about or we will be talking about uh, during this session, can be used by various SME segment or the safety professional who don't have the right skill set or they don't have the right information available with them. So I formally welcome you on the Clyde Talk show. I hope you and your family and the entire organization is doing well during this lockdown period.
Yeah, good afternoon, Commander. Thank you very much for calling me on this show, and thank you very much. Yes, we all are doing well, and this lockdown period is really a wonderful time that we all are enjoying in terms of a lot of learning happening. Yeah, that's great.
Correct. Correct. So today's topic, as I was discussing with you, is all about stakeholder safety. But before I could formally, we will start the discussion. Let me introduce you to the viewers who will be watching this show. Today we have with us Mr. Rajat Bansal, who is the Associate General Manager at Schneider Electric. He is leading the entire logistics supply chain in the organization. He has 2 decades of experience with him, and he has worked with various organizations. So, with your vast background and knowledge you have, sir, today we are going to discuss on a very important topic, uh, which when I saw your LinkedIn post, I thought I should discuss with you this. It is all about stakeholder safety. So, I just want to know from you, when we talk about stakeholder safety, who are the real stakeholders for the safety leaders in the organization they should be working with or they should be focusing on during this lockdown period?
Well, that is a very interesting question, Commander. When we talk about COVID-19 safety, I've seen in past number of responsible organizations engaging with their key suppliers on risk management. Okay, but when we talk about key stakeholders, during these COVID-19 times, well, the answer is not very simple. I mean, we have to understand the complete ecosystem of our operations. Organizations have to ascertain their stakeholders categorized into like number one, direct tier one suppliers. Okay. Number two, like contractors and subcontractors, including company employee, transport agencies, canteen vendors, and the facility management, etc. Then the third category is like courier agencies, your freight forwarders, the logistic supply chain. All right, and the most important one, your partners and customers. Okay, so these are your key stakeholders. And having said that, please do not forget here that their families are also an important stakeholders when we talk about COVID-19 safety. So majorly these stakeholders. Yeah.
Having understood what I can understand from it, that we're talking about the ecosystem, the complete ecosystem we're talking about, from
Hmm.
organization to the family level, and there are multiple stakeholders we have, and we need to divide them and categorize them, as you said. So, having you said that they have to be categorized. So, do you see any kind of challenges companies will foresee in keeping them safe?
Well, yes, challenges, the real challenge when you will face, when you will map your stakeholders is, number one, first of all, it's very important for organizations to understand their stakeholders. Okay. So to identify their key stakeholders, that is very important, number one. Secondly, the stakeholders' risk perception. Okay. So they might not be your stakeholders might not be as sensitive to safety as your organization is, and their risk perception to COVID-19 might not be as mature as your organizations. So it is very important here, this risk perception. And then third is organizational priorities. It is I want to make a very important perspective here. For most of the organizations in developing world, okay, the top priority still remains profit, and safety for the matter is something that they do for legal compliances and customer requirements. And this is where we have to sensitize and push our stakeholders to reset their priorities and bring in safety as top priority. Having said that, when you have uh, done here, this safety risk mapping has been done, Your risk perception has been set. Your key stakeholders are you know your key stakeholders. Then the last challenge would be your optimum manpower competency. Now you have to train and upskill the manpower of your stakeholders. Okay, and for this you need a constant engagement at different levels, which is very key here.
Okay, so as you said, you have to do risk mapping. This is a word we have used, risk mapping. Earlier also we have done risk mapping, and we have done a lot of risk assessment for your suppliers. And one point you brought out that they may not be as mature as you are in terms of the COVID-19. So now the operations have started. Even the suppliers are doing the operation, and they are the one who will be supplying you raw material or various other services to your organization. So you want to say what kind of strategy companies should adopt to have the safe operation from your end also and from the stakeholder point of view also?
Well, when we talk about strategy, there is only one strategy here, and that is effective engagement, to be very clear. Now, this can be achieved by understanding your stakeholder organization's complete safety culture. You will need to have to assess their safety culture and make your development plans accordingly, of course, mutually. And then, of course, constant engagement with right people in the organization is the key here. Okay. Like, for example, when we talk about suppliers, we need to coach them on safety precautions for COVID-19 in effective way. All your suppliers, all right, and it's very important to consider your tier one suppliers here. We should build up a comprehensive guidebook outlining their key processes and COVID prevention strategy for each process. So you have to work very closely with your suppliers here. Then, if we talk about contractors and subcontractors, similarly, you have to work with them also. And when these people, contractors, suppliers, subcontractors, these visit your facility, they should follow the same process which your regular employee follows for COVID-19 safety precautions, And then there should be clear guidelines for your transporters, courier handlers, all right? They should be pretty clear on what they have to do in their with the material and when they enter your premises. Then we should also share our COVID safety handbook with our customers. Okay, so whatever you are doing in terms of COVID-19 safety in your organizations, it's very important for you to engage with your customers also, showcase them that this is what you are doing, and encourage them also to make their operations safe. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, in the end, it's very important here that in all these guidance documents or whatever training sessions you engage with your stakeholders, we should not forget on the COVID safety precautions for their home and their children. Okay, and that's a very important aspect that many of the organizations miss.
Oh, so having you mentioned that you involve the contractors also, share some kind of guidelines with them. What comes to my mind when I was talking to you, I remember you talked about the raw material is supplied by the contractor and it goes to the end customer. So in between the entire process, before the lockdown, everything was very visible, evidently visible. You could visit your suppliers or you could visit many people. But now with the restriction that you can't travel anywhere, and you mentioned that you have to ensure a safe operation. So I just want to know that during this period where we can't ensure or we can't go to the place for doing some kind of safety audit or doing some kind of safety compliances, so how we should ensure that the zero harm is achieved? Now we are sitting at one location, but we have to monitor multiple things. So how to do that?
Well, in this case, companies should have a very comprehensive stakeholder risk management project, okay, and a correct mapping of various attributes of their risk behaviors and programs has to be done. Stakeholders should be given a scoring, of course, in a positive sense, okay, in different domains of safety, and we have to work mutually with your stakeholders for various EHS programs that could bring up their scoring to match with the industry peer industry standards. And these timelines, clear timelines have to be given, and the responsibility to close those gaps and complete those programs has to be done. I mean, overall, we need to have a very close engagement with our key stakeholders, and this risk management project has to be outlined.
So you want to say this has to be done jointly between the suppliers, between the stakeholders and the organization, so that the risk mapping, if it is done nicely, you can achieve the zero harm vision. So do you foresee, or do you think organization will have the new way from here onwards towards looking at the stakeholder safety?
Of course. I mean, this is the way forward. See, without an effective stakeholder safety management, complete supply chain would be impacted. And that is much evident nowadays in the context of COVID-19. Organizations have started to understand that they need to make their supply chains safe, complete supply chain. Okay, when you go into the market, your customers request your complete supply chain mapping. How do you map your supply chain? How you are engaging with your key stakeholders? So it is the demand of the market right now.
Oh, what kind of new initiatives you and your team has taken during this period to keep this zero harm vision?
Well, I'm lucky. I'm in my organization have a very strong leadership commitment towards safety. For us, health and safety of our employees, customers, suppliers, and contractors is a top priority. And this gives us a lot of bandwidth to work on different projects with our stakeholders. All right. We have a dedicated teams working on supplier safety programs. We have dedicated teams working on customer engagements, and we work on different safety engagement projects at entity level also for our contractors and transporters. And in these programs, we also try to engage their families for sensitization. And see, by engaging their families, it is very important when we talk about engaging hearts and minds in safety. So once you engage their families, you actually touch the chord, okay, and that completes the loop, at least for COVID-19 perspective. So it's very important. I again stress here about the family safety.
One thing is which is commonly coming out in every question. You always talk about touching, emotional touch, or maybe the family touch. That is what you're talking about. And you touching the chord. You connect with the heart and the mind you're talking about. So that interesting thing, which I'm actually learning in all the questions, whatever I'm asking you, it's a really wonderful thing. So any kind of safety tips, having talked about the safety topic or safety stakeholder topic we were talking about, any kind of safety tips you would like to give to safety professional so that they can implement in their own organization?
Well, finally, Commander, if you ask me about the tips, I would say we need to own our stakeholders. This is very important. As we own our employees in our organizations and influence their safety behaviors, similarly, we need to own our stakeholders. So that is the key here in these times for the business success. And if we talk about generally, I also want to mention here that let us all take advantage of this lockdown time. It's a pretty wonderful time for us to introspect our skills and enhance them through various digital means available and improve our skills. I think that's the message from me. Yeah, Commander.
That's really wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable time. In spite of your busy schedule, I was talking to you, but thank you for this valuable time. Thank you for coming on the show. We'll meet soon. And happy stay and the healthy stay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Commander. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.